junior name and then really work on that.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on Charlotte Motor Speedway for 125 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of the Queen City 190. Tonight's event, this is the first race of the round of 8, and this will begin, these drivers continuing to fight for a spot in the Championship 4, and it'll continue here tonight. If big mistakes are huge for these round of 8 drivers, because one little slip up could cost them a chance at a championship. Last week, to conclude the round of 12, we raced at Kansas Speedway, and Clint Stone picked up the win. He led 87 laps, started on the pole, absolutely dominated that race. Second place was Will Witt. Finishing third was Colin Willems. He had a good race as well, leading 32 laps. Fourth was Kyle Mays, and rounding out your top 5 in a surprise, really good finish for Mark Shavers. He led 2 laps and was really fast all night long. Our other lap leaders, Todd Mays, who finished 13th, he led 1 lap. Brett Merle, who finished 17th, he led 3 laps. So here we go. It is now time to look to see who advanced to the round of 8. First of all, there was 4 drivers that ended up getting eliminated after last week, and those 4 drivers, unfortunately, were Blake Kinsley, Derek Chaput, Brian Nudie, and Brett Merle. So those 4 are officially out of championship contention. A few of them will still be competing in the rest of the races this season, but they will not be competing for championship. So coming into the round of 8, here's how everything looks. We see Clint Stone. He has a decent gap above the cutoff line. He leads with 18 points. He's 18 points below the cutoff line. Devin Bucciano is 9 points below the cutoff line. Now, these are 2 drivers that are above the cutoff line, but aren't too much above it, so they're going to need to be very careful tonight here in Charlotte, and they need to make sure they have a good race. That is Colin Willems and Cody Moore, who are 7 and 3 points above the cutoff line. And then these drivers are really, really going to need to have a good 2 races here at Charlotte and then next week at Talladega. That's Will Witt, Kyle Mays, Eddie Morris, and Michael Provolt, who are all 3 points below the cutoff line. And those 8 drivers, their names will be highlighted in lime green, so you will know who is the playoff drivers, who is not the playoff drivers. Again, look for the lime green names. As you see, Will Witt, Devin Butchino, Clint Stone there. That is what you're going to be looking for the drivers that are the playoff drivers. Now, also want to talk a little bit about the team standings. Teams very important here in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Wasted Wages remains the leader here in the team standings. They've gotten 2 wins this season, both of them coming from round of 8 driver Colin Willems. They have a 1,876-point lead over second-place Maze Mafia Racing, who jumped to second place after Clint Stone's incredible performance last week at Kansas Speedway. Maze Mafia Racing has 5 wins this season, all of them coming from Clint Stone. Third in the team standings is CCM. They have 3 wins this season, and those 3 wins came from Brian Nudie and Blake Hensley. Fourth in the standings is Neon Racing. They have 3 wins this season. All 3 of those wins came from Devin Butchno. Now, 5th place is 2 Pedals 1 Clutch. 2 Pedals 1 Clutch does not have any winners this season, but they do have 1 driver in the round of 8, and that is Michael Provolt, who was able to squeak it out and advance to the next round, but he is below the cutoff line, so he's going to try to fight to get above the cutoff line here tonight at Charlotte. And then lastly, 6th in the team standings is Intensity DBC Racing, and they do not have any playoff drivers. Their highest driver in the standings is Josh Hall. He sits 13th. So he barely missed the cut to make the playoffs. So there you go. That is a little rundown of what happened this week and what the standings and whatnot is looking like coming into tonight's Queen City 190. Qualifying is underway. Let's see who will be starting on the pole here tonight. As I say that, we see Brian Merle Jr. hard into the outside wall, but he did not cross the start-finish line, so he will be able to go back to the pits and redo his whole run again. Jeffrey Belk on track, the man from Newcastle, Delaware, ran a 31.33. We see Michael Provolt is able to top that with a 30.62. That will put him 7/10 ahead of second place Jeffrey Belk. There's David Hartney beginning his first lap. David trying to break into the win column for the first time here tonight. It has been a tough season for that 43. So looking to try to turn his luck around here tonight. Second lap, Jeffrey Belk improves to a 30.45, which puts him about 2/10 ahead of second place Michael Provolt. Zachary Cox is third with a 32.36, putting Cox about 2 seconds off of first place Jeffrey Belk. David Hartney to third with a 30.67, putting Hartney 2/10 behind first place Jeffrey Belk. On lap number 2, Zachary Cox is able to get to second with a 30.48, knocking David Hartney out of the top 3 and putting Michael Provolt in third. So now Zachary Cox, he is 200ths off of first place Jeffrey Belk. Third is Brian Merle Jr. with a 30.58. That will put him a 10th off of first place Jeffrey Belk. So right now, Jeffrey Belk leads the field. He is searching for his first win of the season. He won last season at Darlington. Darlington, another intermediate track. It's not too similar to Charlotte, but it's kind of close. We've got Brett Merle on track in the 11 machine. Brett Merle barely missed the round of 8. He had a tough race last week at Kansas that kind of hurt his chances of advancing. Finished second to last, actually, I believe. I do want to thank series sponsor Dev Sports Cards for all of their support of the league. Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Butchino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs. From football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon, Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So one more time, thank you to Devin Butchno for all of his support of the league, and good luck to him tonight as he's going to try to lock himself into the Championship 4. Again, just go support him. I know we probably have a few people watching that might collect sports cards or, resell sports cards. That is definitely the perfect place to go. And, he supports our hobby of sim racing. We see Josh Hall staying out a little bit extra, even though he's completed both of his qualifying lap times. We see his best was a 30.79, which puts him 0.3 off of first place Jeffrey Belk. Josh Hall also has had a really, really rough season. Looking to try to turn it around with a win here tonight at Charlotte. There is Will Witt in the 35 machine, beginning lap number 1. Will Witt, one of our round of 8 drivers, but he is the first driver below the cutoff line, so the goal for Will tonight is to get above that cutoff line, have a good race, so that heading into Talladega, he won't have to worry quite as much. Yeah, that's right. You definitely are going to want to do really, really good tonight, and maybe even you got to try your hardest to get locked in, because next week is Talladega. It's a wild card race. You never know who's going to win, who's going to do well. Anything can happen. So you might as well try to get locked in at a driver's track where, you're in before the hecticness of Talladega. Whew. Eddie Morris drifting off of turn number 2. That'll hurt his qualifying run. There's Kyle Mays in the 55 machine, and Will Witt is to the top of the board with a 30.7 or 30.37. That will put him about 0.08 off of second place Jeffrey Belk. We've got Josh Hall on the YouTube chat. He says, "Let's go IDBC Racing." Jeffrey Belk had a fantastic qualifying run. He currently sits second. He was sitting in first for a pretty long time before he got overtaken by Will Witt. I know David, he is 7th, Josh 8th. So good luck tonight, Josh, and good luck to the whole Intensity DBC racing team. I know I'm a little bit biased because I race with those guys on Tuesdays, and, that's Intensity Broadcasting's team. But, it's a great group of drivers, and looks like right now as it stands, all of the Intensity DBC drivers are in the top 10 here in qualifying. So hopefully it can stay that way for them. Intensity Broadcasting is proud to be partnered with Butt Kicker. And I do want to take the time to talk a little bit about Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is the established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Again, thebuttkicker.com is the website for the established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. So thank you to Butt Kicker for their support and partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. Definitely consider checking them out. If you are looking to try to improve your sim racing experience, if you want it to be more accurate compared to real life, then Butt Kicker is the way to go. It's like being in a 4D movie theater, but you're on iRacing. I race with my Butt Kicker every single day when I'm on the sim, and it is the closest I've ever felt on iRacing to running in real life. You can feel every rumble strip, every bump, every gear change. You can even feel the tire spinning. There's a lot of benefits to using the Butt Kicker. You'll notice it'll improve your driving, and you'll notice that it'll really, really improve the accuracy of your sim racing experience. Rosenberger Studios says Butt Kicker. That's right, Butt Kicker. The way to go if you're on iRacing. Of course, if you're on iRacing, you got to have a set of pedals. You got to have a wheel. If you want a shifter, you got to get a shifter. You got to have a good seat. And you got to have a Butt Kicker. And now it is time to introduce tonight's starting lineups for the Queen City 190. The start of the round of 8. Starting on the pole with a 30.367 round of 8 driver for Wasted Wages Racing, number 35, Will Witt. Outside of him, it's Neon Racing driver Devin Butchno in the 68, another round of 8 driver. Starting third, another round of 8 driver. It is Clint Stone in the 99. You know what they say, the cream rises to the top, and that can certainly be said for qualifying, as Cody Moore will be starting fourth in his Wasted Wages racing machine. Rounding at your top 5, it's the Maze Mafia's Kyle Mays, another one of our round of 8 drivers in the 55. Sixth, it is IDBC Racing's Jeffrey Belk in the 54. Seventh is Two Pedals, One Clutch's Zachary Cox in the 51. Eighth, we have Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. in the 74. Ninth, it's Michael Proval in the Two Pedals, One Clutch, number 95. And rounding at your top 10, it's CCM's Brian Nudie in the 28. 11th, it is IDBC Sim Racing's David Hartney in the 43. 12th is Eddie Morris in the CCM number 8. He is one of our round of 8 drivers. 13th is Sylvain Seguin in the 66 machine, the only Canadian in the field tonight. 14th is Josh Hall, Tennessee Broadcasting Zone in the 81 machine. And rounding at your top 15, it's Brett Merle in the 11. 16th, it's Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. 17th is the Maze Mafia's Todd Mays in the 9. And last but not least, it is Bobby Mays in the 22. So here we go. We are getting ready to begin the Queen City 190, the first race of the round of 8. Here's what you can expect coming into tonight's event. Tires, tires, tires. Tires, very, very important. Got to save them all throughout your runs. This is a night race, so it is going to be way faster, way tighter racing compared to if this race was in the daytime. The tires won't wear quite as much as if it was in the daytime. So, it's going to be really tight. These drivers are going to need to have a good sense of where they are on the track, good sense of their surroundings, and you just, good situational awareness so that they can have a clean car at the end of the race. And lastly, control the car on exit. I know with my experience, and I know I've seen in practice and qualifying, the car is really, really snappy off of 2 and 4, so drivers need to be really careful when getting into the gas to minimize mistakes, which can be very costly at the high speeds of Charlotte. Pace car is in. Green flag is out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Queen City 190 is underway. Will Witt takes off. He is side by side with Devin Butchno as they go up through the gears. Will Witt with the nose over Butchno as they head through turns 1 and 2. Charlotte can be a multi-groove track at times, although it's not really known for that. So, I mean, you can sometimes make the outside work. You see Will Witt with the nose on the bottom. Great run through turns 3 and 4. Oh, a little bobble on the high side for Devin Butchno. That cost him valuable momentum, and that will allow Will Witt to lead lap number 1 with nobody beside him or directly on his bumper. But here comes Will's teammate, Cody Moore, in the number 52 machine. There might be a little bit confusion. Do want to clarify this. Cody Moore is the 52 on the track, but he is the 00 on the ticker. So if you're trying to find where Cody Moore is on track, look, or where he is, you know, if you're trying to look on the track, he's the yellow and black 52 car, and if you're looking for him on the ticker, he is the 00. Last time by, Cody Moore ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 30.61. That will put Cody, he's still 0.2 off of Will Witt up front. Rosenberger Studios, it really does help with immersion. Let's go, boys. Absolutely. The butt kicker is key to having an immersive and accurate iRacing experience. Check out their website, thebuttkicker.com. That time by, Will Witt ran a 30.56. That will put him, that's the new fastest lap time. For those of you who know Rosenberger Studios, that's Michael Rosenberger. He was the Rookie of the Year last season in the SCSRA Xfinity Series. He has not raced any this season, and his presence, or his lack of presence, is definitely felt. You know, he was really fast. So we miss you, Michael, but thanks for tuning in tonight. So right now, teammates trying to battle it out here, but Will Witt really extending that gap between him and Cody Moore. Cody Moore just trying to find any sort of speed. Behind this, we've got a battle between two more set of teammates. That's Clint Stone and Kyle Mays in 3rd and 4th. Look back up front. Cody Moore has closed the gap between him and Will Witt a little bit. Back to the battle for 3rd. Big run off of turn number 2 there for Kyle Mays. Here he comes, trying to set up the pass. He looks low heading into turns 3 and 4, running right on that blue line. He's able to get right up to the back bumper of that 99 machine, but he can't quite get under him, so the goal to just try to set up the pass will continue for the 55 machine. Kyle looking to see what his teammate is doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas, and just trying to see where Clint is at his worst. And wherever he's at his worst, you know, that's where Clint needs to try to be his very, very best. Look at that. We see Jeffrey Belk running way high through the corner. And he had a good enough run that he is almost able to get by Zachary Cox. Kyle Mays continuing his trek to the 3 machine. But I know that these two are going to run each other clean. Oh, big run on the backstretch for Kyle Mays. Here he comes. Able to get right up to the back bumper of the 99, but he loses him off of exit. We saw a really, really good run there for Kyle Mays. He's just got to keep it up for a little bit longer. But like I was saying, you know, I know these two are going to run each other pretty clean. They're teammates. You know, it's kind of an unwritten rule in racing. You know, you don't wreck your teammate. You don't run them hard as other drivers. Just like you wouldn't foul. It's like you don't foul your teammate or tackle your teammate in football or basketball. So, you know, you don't really do that in racing. It's always good to be respectful. But I will say that I mean, if there's one driver who Kyle Mays knows better than a lot of the field, of course it's his teammate. So he might know some of the things that Clint maybe struggles with, and he's going to try to use that information to his advantage. Both Kyle and Clint trying to win tonight. if they win, well, I mean, of course, you're always trying to win, but it's very important for those two, because if either of them win, they will be locked into the Final Four. And they won't even have to worry about what happens at Talladega, which, for those of you who pay any sort of attention to racing, you know Talladega is very, very hectic. Anything can happen, so if you don't have to worry about it from a point standing or from a points point of view, then yeah, definitely you're going to want to win tonight. And same thing with these two sets of teammates, Cody Moore and Will Witt. Speaking of Cody Moore, he's got a great run on the front stretch. Here he comes. He's going to try to look low in 1 and 2. They are side by side. Cody Moore with the nose on the bottom. Cody Moore is clear. Cody Moore to the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway on lap number 12. Teammates battling it out. And Cody Moore, and as I say that, wow, yellow flag is out for the first time tonight here at Charlotte. And it is time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Here we're going to see exactly what happened. Next time you think about ordering pizza, get Marco's. Absolutely primo pizza. Check out their website and see if you have a location near you. Find out, if they can do delivery, curbside pickup, takeout, and go pick some up. It's fantastic pizza. I have it all the time. Definitely recommend it. So here's a look at what happened. We are watching Bobby Mays in the 22, teammate of the Marco's Pizza man, Mark Shavers. We see side by side with Brett Merle. And Brett Merle comes up the track a little bit into the rear quarter panel of the 22, sending him around. And you can tell kind of how he comes up as, watch where his right sides are. Yeah. I will say there wasn't really a ton of room to move around, but still, you could tell he kind of moved up a little bit. Just hard mile-and-a-half racing. And both of them just go around. We see Cheeseburger able to get through. Not good there for Bobby Mays and Brett Merle. We've got pit stops going on. Sylvain Seagoin, Todd Mays, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Jeffrey Belk, Brian Merle Jr., Bobby Mays, all of them coming in. Looks like they just took splashes of fuel or they got damage fixed, like Bobby Mays and Brian Merle Jr. and Jeffrey Belk. So nobody is on fresh tires yet. I mean, that really wouldn't be beneficial. I will say this, there will be a stage break at lap number 40, I believe. So the caution will come out, and that will allow drivers to come in, get tires, get fuel, and, just to allow the field to get bunched back up. And we are getting ready to go back green here. Cody Moore restarting on the bottom. Teammate Will Witt restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Clint Stone on the bottom. And Kyle Mays on the top. We see Mike Rosenberger Studios on YouTube. It says, I'll be back. Well, that'd be awesome if you come back, Michael. Definitely enjoyed watching you last season in your run for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, and I know the viewers will be happy to see you back as well. Be awesome. Again, thanks for tuning in, Michael. You were in for an awesome race here tonight. I can tell it's only going to get better from here. Just notice the front two rows on this restart are two sets of teammates. We've got Wasted Wages positions 1 and 2. And Maze Mafia positions 3 and 4. So it looks like I forgot to mention Cody Moore elects to restart on the outside. He is the control car. He will have to go in the Geico restart zone, which they are coming to right about now. Green flag is back out here at Charlotte. There's Cody Moore taking off side by side for second between Will Witt and Kyle Mays. Mays with a little bit of a nose on the outside, but the bottom has so much momentum as the preferred groove here at Charlotte, and here comes Will Witt. They're side by side off of turn number 2. Witt with a little bit of a nose on the back stretch, and they remain side by side heading into turns 3 and 4. Wow! Kyle Mays has a way bigger run on the outside than I expected, but on exit, the bottom is going to be way better, as we saw there. And Will Witt is able to get clear. Will Witt to position number 2 now. And oh, the crossover move for Kyle Mays. Now he's the one on the bottom for Will Witt. Now he's the one with the preferred groove. Will Witt is in trouble. They are side by side on the backstretch. Will Witt still with a little bit of a nose, but great run through 3 and 4 there for Kyle Mays. And right behind Kyle, that's his teammate Clint Stone, maybe giving him a little bit of a draft. I don't know. I mean, there are in the 180s for speed, but I don't think there's too much of a draft. Maybe on the straightaways. Will Witt holding his own on the outside. He's got great straightaway speed, but the bottom is just so good through the corner. Just because, you know, it is the shorter way around the track. So it'll be harder through the corners. But there we go. We're seeing that really, really good straightaway speed for that 35 machine. But as soon as we get into the corner, the bottom... Oh, no! That time by, we saw the bottom check up a little bit. Kyle Mays bobbled through the corner or something, and that gave the top a ton of momentum, and Will Witt is able to get clear into the second place spot. I don't think we've seen the end of this battle, but we see Kyle Mays starting to lose a little bit of ground on the 35 machine. He's got teammate Clint Stone all over his back bumper, and then they're side by side Clint between Devin Bucciano and David Hartney. So, fast, tight racing. I knew it would be considering the cool temperatures here at Charlotte. We see Clint Stone looking to the outside. They are side by side. Kyle Mays with the nose on the bottom, but we saw the outside can work here at Charlotte. And a great run on the straightaway for Clint Stone. Coming off of the trioval into turns 1 and 2, he is able to get clear. Clint Stone into the top 3 now, back where he started this race before he lost that third place position to teammate Kyle Mays. And now Clint Stone has his eyes on the second place position. That is Will Witt, and he's got a great run through 3 and 4. The 99 Mustang is coming to life here at the high banks of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Great run on the front stretch. He's maybe going to try to make a move here in 1 and 2. He can't quite. He is going to remain on the back bumper of that 35 machine. But the 99 has great speed, a great run. Here he comes on the back straightaway. There's a car around David Hartney. Big wreck on the back stretch. The second caution flag is out here. And we are going to do the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to find out exactly what happened. Here's my Marco's Pizza combination recommendation. If you're ever going to Marco's Pizza, try pepperoni, pineapple, and green peppers. I call it the California Hawaiian. It is absolutely incredible. I know it sounds like a weird combination, but the saltiness of the pepperoni and the sweetness of the pineapple mixed with the crunch of the green pepper is delicious. Go try it right now, Marco's Pizza. So on the backstretch, we're side by side between Kyle Mays and David Hartney. Behind them, Brian Newty, Devin Bucciano. And looks like Kyle Mays comes up the track, getting into the left rear quarter panel of David Hartney, sending him around And you can see him migrate up the track. I mean, look at where the 55's right side tires are below the line, below the line, below the line, below the line, up, 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 up. And then just right into him. I don't know if maybe Kyle thought he had a little bit more room than he did. See a few drivers into the pits. Todd Mays, David Hartney. I know David is getting damage fixed. I'm not sure why Todd is into the pits. Looks like it was just fuel for him. So while we're under caution, I want to take this time to do our first Marco's Pizza driver spotlight of the day. I want to talk about none other than Zachary Cox. Zachary Cox is 33 and currently lives in Charleston, South Carolina. He's been in the Navy for 13 years and just re-enlisted for another 4. He's been on iRacing for a little over 2 years. He's called Lynchburg, Virginia home since he lived there during his teens, but he has lived on both coasts growing up in a military family. His wife and him have been married for 11 years, and they have 2 beautiful daughters, ages 8 and 7. He grew up around racing with his dad, racing top sportsmen in IHRA and NHRA when he was on shore duty with his godfather. He had his first go-kart when he was 4 and started racing then on a dirt track when he was 7. He had a bad accident on one, then moved to junior dragster. He ran that for a while before he moved out to Lynchburg and got into dirt bikes. His life has been intertwined with racing as his godfather was close friends with Dale Earnhardt, his dad building race cars and 5-axis CNC machining, and working at Sonny's racing engines before joining the Navy. He's had a large collection of cars that he's gone through, but he currently has a 91 Firebird. He is going to do a twin-turbo 5.3 swap-in, and he currently drives the That Guy Designs number 51 Chevy Silverado and Legendary Aquatics number 51 Toyota Supra. I got to meet Zachary Cox earlier in the year at Langley Speedway. Really, really nice guy. It was cool to connect with another driver from one of the leagues that I broadcast, and he came and watched me race there at Langley. Again, really, really nice guy. So shout out to Zachary Cox. Good luck for the rest of the race, man. That is our first Marco's Pizza driver spotlight of the night. Hopefully you enjoyed getting to know Zachary. He will be restarting in 8th year. Here we go. Green flag is back out here at Charlotte. There is Cody Moore taking off. Great run on the outside for Brian Nudie. He is able to get clear of Will Witt as they head into turns 1 and 2. So Brian Nudie now running second. He's going to set his sights on your first place driver, Cody Moore. Brian Nudie, Cody Moore, they are the top 3 are all former teammates at YXU Racing. Of course, Brian Nudie ended up moving to CMC, while Cody Moore and Will Witt moved to Wasted Wages Racing. So these 3 battling it out once again. They used to be teammates with each other, so crazy to see this. As I know, I associate them as YXU. But Brian Nudie, he doesn't have to really race Cody Moore clean anymore. I mean, they're not teammates. So he's going to run him really hard. We see he goes to the outside, trying to make it work up there. These drivers searching all throughout the track, looking to see where the grip is. It might be on the outside. It might be on the bottom. You'll see drivers, migrating through the track, just trying to find where's the best place to run. And I mean, I think most of the time the best place to run is on the bottom. And it's really hard to pass here. So sometimes you might want to try to go up there to the high side. And that's what we're seeing Brian Nudie doing right now. Great run through 3 and 4 for the 28 machine. And he is clear. Brian Nudie to the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've seen 3 former YXU drivers lead this race here at Charlotte, and looks like Cody Moore's about to lose another position as Devin Butchno looked low there in 1 and 2, but we see Cody was able to shut the door. Since the restart, Will Witt, he has fallen to 5th, so not what the 2 Wasted Wages racing drivers, Cody Moore and Will Witt, wanted to see here on this last restart. The floodgates have kind of opened for them. We see Cody Moore losing Brian Newty a little bit for the lead. Field's starting to get spread out. We're going to see if we're going to have a good green flag run until the stage, which will be coming up at lap number 40. And then you'll see a mad dash onto pit road. Drivers coming in, taking tires, taking fuel. Good run for Cody Moore, but we see he loses it heading into turns 3 and 4. Behind them, we've got Devin Butchino. He's got Clint Stone in hot pursuit of him. I do want to quickly take this time to talk a little bit about the track that we are racing at tonight, and that is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Opened in 1960, and as I say that, the battle for the lead is brewing. We saw a huge run there for Cody Moore, but we see he will remain in the 2nd place spot for now. Opened in 1960 by Bruton Smith and NASCAR driving legend Curtis Turner, with the running of the longest stock car race in history, the World 600, the Charlotte Motor Speedway closed before it would ultimately become the home track of so many NASCAR teams. Just a year after the first race, the 1.5-mile oval track was in bankruptcy, done in by a huge infield rock formation that ballooned construction costs for beyond what its 2 founders had forecast. Almost 60 years later, nearly everything is different. More than 89,000 seats ring the racetrack, which was the first superspeedway to install lights for night racing, the first racetrack to incorporate a condominium apartment complex overlooking the racing surface, the first to build an office complex with the same view, the first racetrack to sell naming rights, and the first to open a year-round club where members can spectate during races and socialize with fellow club members at other times. Everything is very different from 1960 except for one thing: Charlotte Motor Speedway is still owned by the Smith family. These days, Charlotte Motor Speedway is the queen of a publicly traded motorsports empire controlled by the Smith family. Ousted from the track in 1962, Bruton Smith went on to a successful career in automotive retailing, and by 1975 was able to buy back control, with the legendary Humpy Wheeler managing the day-to-day operations and promoting the races with flair and imagination. The track was soon among the most successful in the world. The Charlotte Motor Speedway built a new infield road course designed specifically for NASCAR competition in 2018. It utilizes nearly all of the 1.5-mile oval as well as newly built infield portion, thus the name Roval, because it's a road course / oval. The Roval configuration is a 17-turn, 2.28-mile track that challenges the best of drivers and teams. Car setups are typically compromises. A car good on the oval may not be so good in the infield, and vice versa, so drivers and crew chiefs have to decide what matters most to them. 2 chicanes, one on the back straight and one just before the start-finish line, makes for some exciting passing opportunities as competitors can attempt to outbrake each other. The Charlotte Roval is a unique infield road course that has already proven to be an exciting venue since its NASCAR debut in 2018. Side by side for first right now, Brian Newty, Cody Moore. Brian Newty with the nose on the outside, but the bottom very, very strong here at Charlotte, and right behind them, Clint Stone and Devin Butchino trying to make it interesting. If either of these two make a mistake, these two will be ready to swoop in and take a position or two. Brian Newty with the nose on the outside as we head through turns 3 and 4. Again, your front 2, these are 2 former teammates battling it out. Brian Newty with the nose on the outside. Oh, we saw Cody Moore maybe got a little shove there from Clint Stone. Yeah, Clint Stone all over the back bumper of that 52 machine. giving him a lot of pressure to get clear of Brian Newty. Good run on the backstretch for that 52 machine. He is also there, but we see had it on entry. Brian Newty had a great run. But Cody Moore ultimately is able to get clear of Brian Newty for that first place position. So the battle is on now for second between Clint Stone and Brian Newty. Clint Stone on the bottom has a good run, and he is able to get clear. So Brian Newty has lost 2 spots in the last lap or two. And now he's probably going to lose another, as here comes Devin Buchno looking low under that 28 machine. The battle is on for first. Clint Stone all over the back bumper of Cody Moore. We are racing hard. Remember, this is for stage points. We are coming to the stage break, so the top 10 will all get bonus points, which will definitely be beneficial for the round of 8 drivers. Clint Stone looking to the outside of Cody Moore, trying to make it work up there. He is going to stay all over. There we go. He looks low, heading into turns 3 and 4, side by side. Great run for the 99 machine. We see he has the nose over Cody heading off of turn number 4, but Cody has great straightaway speed. That's what we've seen so far with the outside lane. The bottom has way better corner speed, while the outside has good runs on the straightaways. They're side by side through turns 1 and 2. Oh no, Cody Moore, it's the outside wall, costing him valuable momentum. That will give Clint Stone the first place spot, and that will allow the opportunity for Devin Buchno to get by Cody. And now looks like Cody and Newty are battling it out on the front stretch. Cody definitely does not want to lose any positions. We should be coming to the stage break. There we go. Brian Newty is clear of Cody Moore, and he is now to the 3rd place position. But Cody Moore sticking right with Brian Newty. He is on the back bumper of the 3 machine on the back stretch, heading into turns 3 and 4. We see he loses them, though. Brian Newty trying to get by Devin Buchno for that 2nd place position. Newty playing offense and defense at the same time. Brian Newty, he's going to decide to play defense. We see he falls off of Devin Buchno a little bit, and he's going to now try to hold off the 52 machine of Cody Moore. While this is going on, we've got a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th between Kyle Mays, Zachary Cox, and Brian Merle Jr. These are 3 drivers without a win this season, trying to break into the win column for the first time here tonight. And Brian Merle Jr. looking low under Zachary Cox for that 6th place position. They're side by side through 3 and 4. Or excuse me, through 1 and 2. Cox with the nose on the outside. They're pretty much in a stalemate through the backstretch. The bottom is going to have a little bit of an advantage through the corner. There we see Brian Merle Jr. pulling ahead a little bit, and he is able to get clear. Brian Merle Jr. now to position number 7, but the crossover move on the front stretch for the 51 machine. There side by side through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Mays with a little bit of a nose on the outside. Side by side on the back stretch for these two. Brian Merle Jr., Zachary Cox, both of them are they're not playoff drivers, so they don't have much to lose, and Brian Merle Jr. is finally able to get clear of Zachary Cox. Now he looks to the outside of Kyle Mays, and the stage is officially out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And here is a look at the standings here at the stage. Brian Newty first, Clint Stone second, Devin Buchno third, Cody Moore fourth, Will Witt fifth, Kyle Mays sixth, Brian Merle Jr. seventh, Zachary Cox eighth, Bobby Mays ninth, Todd Mays 10th. Those 10 drivers will be getting stage points, and that will definitely be beneficial for Clint Stone, Devin Buchno, Cody Moore, Will Witt, and Kyle Mays, all of them are playoff drivers. Well, that is unfortunate for Michael and Proval and Eddie Morris, who finished 11th and 12th. They barely missed the playoff points. Now, there will be some other bonus points you can earn throughout the race. You get a point for laps led, and you get points for having a 0x. So those are some other points that maybe Eddie Morris and Michael Proval are going to want to try to grab here. And pit road is about to be a busy, busy place. And 3, 2, 1, there we go. The whole field will be coming in to get tires and get fuel. Will Witt will have the advantage because he has the first pit stall. There we go. 4 tires and fuel for most of the field. Who will win the race off of pit road? And that will be Clint Stone. Clint Stone wins the race off pit road. Then it's Brian Newty, Devin Butchino, Will Witt, Zachary Cox, Kyle Mays, Bobby Mays, Brian Merle Jr., Michael Provolt, and Todd Mays. Then David Hartney, Cheeseburger, Josh Hall, Jeffrey Belk, Cody Moore, Sylvain Seagoin, Eddie Morris, and Brett Merle is just now coming in to the pits. Or he's just now into the pits. Clint Stone, he will win the race off of pit road, and he will restart in the first place position. Brian Newty will be restarting outside of him. Just notice this right now, the top 5 are all a part of different teams. First place is Clint Stone, driver for the Mays Mafia. Second is Brian Newty, driver for CCM. Third is Devin Butchino, driver for Neon Racing. Fourth is Will Witt, driver for Wasted Wages. And fifth is Zachary Cox, driver for 2 Pedals, 1 Clutch. It is time for our second Marco's Pizza driver spotlight of the race. And we are going to be talking about Devin Butchino. Your third place driver. Devin Butchino turned 26 in April, and he lives in Plattsburgh, New York. He graduated with a degree in computer security back in 2018 and currently works as a repair technician for an ISP that covers pretty much the entire Northeast. He's been on iRacing since 2017, but he wasn't able to do any league racing or take it seriously until about 2020 when he built his first PC. He started in a non-broadcasted street stock league through ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and that is where he met Dylan Redding. In his first race, Dylan actually wrecked him while he was leading on lap 1. He then asked me to race in iOS, and the rest is history. Outside of iRacing, he grew up a pretty large business buying and reselling sports cards, Dev Sports Cards, and he's traveled all over the country for card shows. So there you go. That is some information on Devin Butchino. He will be restarting in third. So here we go. Clint Stone on the bottom, Brian Newty on the top. And green flag is back out here at Charlotte. There is Clint Stone taking off, and great restart for Devin Butchino. Not a great restart for Brian Newty. He went from second to fourth through the tri-oval, and he's maybe about to lose fifth to Will Witt. I don't know if Newty missed a shift or what happened, but he did not have the restart that he wanted. Zachary Cox trying to reel in Devin Butchino for that second place position here. And remember, everybody is on fresh tires. Everybody has fuel, so everybody is on an even playing field. Zachary Cox trying to see where Devin Butchino is giving up the most time, and that's where Zachary Cox is going to want to make his pass. He's looking to see if Devin might be pushing up off of a certain corner, if he is maybe getting loose through a certain corner, and that is where Zachary is going to want to make his pass. Zach has got Will Witt right behind him. So Zach fighting a battle on two fronts. Good to see Zach running well here tonight at Charlotte. He's always a dark horse in these races, not really up front too much, so it's always cool to see when he has a good race. Zachary Cox actually does not have a top 5 this season. So if he finished right where he's running right now, or even 2 positions less than that, he will get his first top 5 of the season. So definitely kind of rooting for Zachary Cox to maybe accomplish that feat. We see Brian Nudie, Bobby Mays, drivers in 5th and 6th, just ran their personal best lap times of the race. These two are flying right now. Brian Nudie trying to get back up through the field after having a little bit of a sluggish restart. He is reeling in former teammate Will Witt for that 4th place position. He is reeling him in fast. Here he comes. Field very, very tight right now. Everywhere you look, there's a battle. Still the main battle. Oh, Will Witt all over the back bumper of Zachary Cox. Here he comes. We see he loses him a little bit as we head through turns 3 and 4. But that 35 looking very, very fast right now. He's got a ton of speed, as we can see there on the straightaway. Here he comes through turns 1 and 2. Yeah, he is looking very, very fast right now. Actually, no, that's Zachary Cox coming up on Devin Butchino. Excuse me, look at the 51 machine. He is digging right now. Again, love to see that Supra. Very, very fast. And he's doing all this with damage in the rear as well. So, wow. He's able to get to the back bumper now of the 2 machine. He is right there, trying to make the pass all over the back bumper. Trying to look low as we head into turns 3 and 4, but once again, he loses them. So, right now, Zachary Cox just struggling to make the pass and struggling to set up the pass. So, he's just going to continue to look and see what Devin is doing and continue to study, you know, his line, where he's braking, where he's lifting. Devin Butchino beginning to reel in Clint Stone for the 1st place position. Now, I believe we should see the field come in next. The pit window will be around lap number 82. And after that, they will be able to make it for the rest of the way. Right now, they are going to have to pit one more time. So the question is, you know, when around lap 82 is, you know, Clint going to come in, Devin going to come in, Zachary Cox, that is what we are all waiting to see. Still got a long time until then, about 30 laps. So in the meantime, we'll continue to watch this battle for second between Zachary Cox and Devin Butchino. And then behind them, Will Witt and Brian Nudie are going at it from 2nd to 4th, or excuse me, from 2nd to 5th. You could throw a blanket over those drivers. Really, really tight racing. And coming into this race, that is exactly what I expected to see here at Charlotte. We see Brian Nudie looking low under Will Witt on the front stretch side by side, and he is able to get clear. Brian Nudie now to position number 4. Last restart, Brian Nudie restarted in 2nd, but had a little bit of a sluggish restart and fell to around the 5th place position, and he is just trying to make those positions back one driver at a time, and the first driver he was able to get by is former teammate Will Witt. Now he sets his sights on your 3rd place driver, Zachary Cox. Devin Butchino beginning to reel in Clint Stone for that 1st place position. I don't know if Clint Stone has already burnt off his tires. But Devin Buchno is gaining on him fast. We see Brian Nudi now looking low under Zachary Cox for position number 3. Nudi with the nose heading through turns 3 and 4. He is able to get clear. Brian Nudi to 3rd place now here at Charlotte. He is working his way back up to the field. And the next driver he is going to try to pick off is the 68 machine of Devin Buchno. At this time, we are going to turn up the volume and pump up the intensity. Here, you will get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go. That will do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume, but we set our sights now back to the racing action where we have a tight battle for the top 3 between Clint Stone, Devin Buchno, and Brian Nudi. Right now, Brian Nudi is gaining fast on Devin Buchno, and Devin, he is going to have to fight a battle on 2 fronts. He's going to have to play offense and defense, and as a racer, that can be really, really difficult. He is being challenged by Brian Nudi. Brian Nudi right there trying to make a move as we head into turns 1 and 2, but we see he loses him a little bit through the corner. Big run on the backstretch for that 28 machine, trying to reel back in Devin, but looks like Nudi struggling through the corner. Good runoff, though, for the 28 machine. A playoff driver versus a non-playoff driver battling it out. Devin Buchno running a good defensive line. He hasn't really been exposing the bottom where Brian can get under him. Safely, that is. Brian Nudi looking low, heading through turns 3 and 4. The gap was open as we saw Buchno pushed up a little bit. That is exactly what Brian Nudi was waiting for. Side by side for second. Nudi with the nose, heading into turns 1 and 2. He is almost clear, but Buchno fighting back on the outside. We saw Nudi pushed up a little bit there through 1 and 2, and that cost him some valuable momentum and allowed Devin Buchno to have a good run on the outside. But once again, here comes Brian Nudi on the bottom. And once again, he is almost clear, but Devin Buchno fights back on the outside once again. So we see Buchno is actually losing Brian Nudi a little bit. So, yeah, he was able to get by Butchino for second. We'll watch that move one more time. Side by side on the backstretch. It was just like a rocket through 3 and 4. At this point in the race, here are my drivers to watch. And, I mean, honestly, I'm just going to say this right here. And I'm not really saying this because I have nobody else to talk about. I mean, your top 3 are the drivers to beat here tonight. I mean, starting off, Clint Stone. He has been absolutely dominating throughout the season. 5 wins, including last week at another 1.5 mile, Kansas Speedway. Second place is Brian Newty, although he doesn't have much to fight for, considering he is not in the playoffs anymore. He is still showing a lot of speed tonight and has a chance to win. Brian Newty won Season 1 here at Charlotte, so he knows how to get it done at this exact track. And lastly, your third place driver, Devin Butchino. He is the king of intermediate tracks. He's won at Las Vegas. He's won at Kansas. He's won at Chicagoland. All of the intermediate tracks, Devin Butchino either wins or is fast for a lot of the race. So definitely expect him to be in the top 3 for the rest of tonight's event and maybe get up there to the lead. The battle is on right now for 8th between Michael Provolt and Bobby Mays. Remember, Michael Provolt is one of our playoff drivers. He is trying to get above the cutoff line here tonight. He is actually the last driver coming into tonight's event. He sits 8th. So every position matters for that 95. He's running better than Eddie Morris, so he's really the only driver where he could be able to pass him in the standings. Yeah, I think if Provolt and Eddie finish where they're both running right now, Provolt will get to 7th and Eddie will fall to 8th. But still, a lot can happen here at Charlotte. It has been a hectic race so far. One more time, I want to go over how the point standings are looking like, or what the point standings are looking like coming into tonight's event. Remember, this is the beginning of the round of 8, so no drivers are locked in with a win. We see the 4 drivers below the cutoff line are Clint Stone, Devin Butchino, Colin Willems, and Cody Moore. Clint Stone, Devin Butchino both running in the top 3 here tonight. Colin Willems might have to be a little bit worried. Oh, Colin Willems definitely has to be worried. He is not in the race tonight. So that's one driver who is going to be in the danger zone after tonight's event. Because if you miss a race, that's a lot of valuable points you're missing. And then lastly, the 4th driver above the cutoff line is Cody Moore, who he's really hoping for a good race tonight so he can stay above the cutoff line. He's running in the top 5, so he should be good. Will Witt currently is the first driver below the cutoff line. He's having a great race tonight. I think he can get above it. Same thing with Kyle Mays. He's also having a great race. Eddie Morris has struggled throughout tonight. He currently sits in 13th. And same thing with Michael Provolt. So both of them are in danger of remaining below the cutoff line. So again, that's how your point standings is currently looking like. Remember, if a playoff driver wins tonight's event, they will be locked into the Championship 4. And they won't even have to worry about Talladega. So even if they have an abysmal race at the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway, they will still be locked in to the Championship 4. And I know for those of you who know Super Speedway racing, Talladega is a very hectic, very crazy track where if luck isn't on your side, then you're definitely in danger. So you don't want your hopes of making it to the Championship 4. You don't want it to rely on the craziness of Talladega. So winning tonight would be a huge thing. And that's exactly what Clint Stone, Brian Newty, Cody Moore, Will Witt, Kyle Mays, a lot of the front runners here tonight are hoping for. Because there's no guarantee on who is going to win a super speedway race. There's no... There's sometimes a favorite, but not really. They're just very hectic, very, very crazy races. So Clint Stone remains your leader here at Charlotte. We continue to watch playoff driver Michael Provolt try to reel in Bobby Mays for that 8th place position, but see, he falls behind a little bit. I do want to take this time to talk a little bit about the sponsor of the Wreckage Rewind and, of course, the driver spotlight of the week. That is Marco's Pizza. Enjoy authentic Italian quality pizza, dough made fresh every day, sauce from the original Gianmarco recipe. Order online for delivery or carry out. Marco's Pizza. Make sure to check out their website, marcos.com, and see if you have a location near you, see what kind of menu items they have. Fantastic pizza. I have it all the time, especially since I'm on the road for my racing. It's a nice, quick thing that you can pick up. Reister John Delar says, hello from the Philippines. Wow. Thank you for tuning in to watch tonight, Reister. Really cool to see we have some international viewers watching tonight. Cool to see that sim racing and auto racing is popular in the Philippines. Clint Stone. Brian Newdy reeling in Clint Stone fast right now. And the pit window, by the way, has officially begun. And we see our first drivers into the pits. That's Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence trying the short pit strategy to maybe get some track position. So that will be 4 tires and fuel for that 47 machine. Brian Newdy reeling in Clint Stone fast. He looks low heading through turns 1 and 2. Zachary Cox is into the pits now. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for that 51 machine. Man, Brian Newdy has got a rocket right now. Last time by, he was faster than the 99 machine, and he's got a great run heading off of turn number 4. He is able to get right to the back bumper of the 99. He looks low. They are side by side. Clint Stone with a little bit of a nose, but Brian Newdy is able to get clear. Brian Newdy now to the first place position. Clint Stone falls to second, but Clint Stone has an opportunity to cross Newdy over. He is all over his back bumper here on the back stretch. David Hartney into the pits now. The 43 coming in to get tires and fuel. So Brian Newdy, Clint Stone. We saw Clint Stone. He fell off a little bit there. I think maybe running up front, Clint Stone burned off his tires a little bit. See, Bobby Mays is into the pits now, and that just allowed Brian Newdy to get by him because he just saved it a little bit better. Tires so very important here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The right front gets eaten up. Jeffrey Belt trying to reel in Brian Merle Jr. for the 8th place position. two non-playoff drivers fighting it out, trying to stay in the top 10. And I just realized Brian Merle Jr., Jeffrey Belk both have identical statistics. Both of them have 0 wins, 2 top 5s, and 4 top 10s. Whoa, big battle. Here comes Cody Moore. I did not see that coming. He looks under Devin Butchino. He is clear. Cody Moore now to the 3rd place position. It's like he got shot out of a cannon. Really good speed for that 52 machine. And we see both him and Devin Butchino and Brian Nudie all are into the pit. So a lot of our front runners finally making it down onto pit road. Provolt comes in. Brian Merle Jr. comes in. But Clint Stone remains your leader here at Charlotte. Will Witt is now in 2nd. Kyle Mays is in 3rd. See, Clint Stone stays out for another lap. He's got a 7-second lead. As I say that, Will Witt comes into the pits, following in the footsteps of his wasted wages teammate Cody Moore. Will Witt getting some fresh tires and fuel. He should be able to make it the rest of the way. Clint Stone with a 9-second lead. And there we go. This time by Clint Stone coming in. The question is, will Kyle Mays come in with him? And he does not. We see Jeffrey Belk comes in for fresh tires and fuel. So, so Kyle Mays now, he is the leader. And we'll see how long he stays out. Todd is right behind him in 2nd. 3rd, Josh Hall. There's Cody Moore going by Kyle Mays and getting his lap back. And this time by Kyle Mays is coming in. And so this will give the lead now to Todd Mays. Todd Mays is your new leader here at Charlotte. We see Zachary Cox going by him and getting back onto the lead lap. We see Josh Hall comes in as well. So Todd Mays is the final driver that needs to come in, and that's typically how it goes for that 9 machine. All right, there we go. He is in. Cody Moore just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 30.55. Can Todd Mays get in and out and stay on the lead lap? That is the question. I don't believe he can. He has a big gap, but I don't think it is big enough. Yeah, no, it is not. Brian Nudie will inherit the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway after the whole pit cycle goes through. Your top 5 is Brian Nudie, Cody Moore, Clint Stone, Devin Butchino, Zachary Cox with the help of fresh tires. Will Witt just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 30.51, which is better than his teammate Cody Moore's 30.55 by 4 hundredths. And Will Witt reeling in Zachary Cox for that 5th place position. Will Witt has way fresher tires compared to the 51 machine. Zachary Cox coming in at lap number 85, while Will Witt came in at lap number 91. So there we go. He was able to get by him. Those fresh tires definitely proving to be very beneficial for that 35 machine. Might pull a Kevin Harvick and, play the role of the closer and get up to the front here in these last 20, 27, 25 laps. So Clint Stone, something must have gone terribly wrong during the pit cycle as he came in as the leader, but he lost positions to Brian Newty and Cody Moore. So we'll see if Clint Stone can maybe make it back up to the front of the field. Side by side for 10th between Kyle Mays and Brian Merle Jr. Mays with the nose on the bottom. Mays is clear. Kyle Mays now to position number 10, knocking Brian Merle Jr. out of the top 10. Kyle Mays needs every position he can get as he is one of our round of 8 drivers, and he is the second driver below the cutoff line. So that makes his need for points and positions even more important. Todd Mays trying to get by fellow Tennessean Eddie Morris for that 13th place position. Todd Mays all over the back bumper of that 8 machine, trying to set him up. Do see Todd Mays with a little bit of rear end damage. I don't know how that's affecting him aerodynamically. I know it's in the rear, so it shouldn't be too bad. But still, damage can hurt you. He reels them in, coming off of turn number 4. Looks to the high side. Great run for Todd Mays. Ahead of them, the battle is on for the 9th place position. Here comes a hard-charging Kyle Mays. Kyle has about a lap fresher tires compared to Jeffrey Belk. And it's showing that he's got the fresher tires because he has a huge run on the 54. Looking low under him through the tri-oval. They are side by side, and Kyle Mays with the nose. Kyle Mays is clear. We've got Kyle Mays now into the 10th place position. Ahead of him, Bobby Michael battling it out for position number 9. Michael with 3-lap fresher tires compared to Bobby Mays. He is running about 3/10 faster lap times compared to the 22 machine. He is reeling him in fast. Here comes the 95 machine. Watch out. Michael Provolt, one of our playoff drivers, he needs a very good race tonight as he is trying to get above the cutoff line. He looks to the outside, but outside so far tonight we have seen isn't really the preferred groove. We've got less than 25 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Watch out. Here comes Clint Stone in the 99 machine. We saw something happen during the pit cycle, and it made him go from first to third. He lost 2 positions, so now he's trying to make one of those back. He is reeling in Cody Moore very quickly for that 2nd place position. We'll say this, Clint Stone does have 2-lap fresher tires compared to the 52 machine. Reeling in fast, great run off of turn number 2. He's able to get right up to the back bumper. He can make a move. He looks low heading into turns 3 and 4. They are side by side. Clint Stone with a little bit of a nose. Cody holding his own on the outside, but it's not quite maybe it is. Cody Moore able to stay in the 2nd place position with a little bit of a lead. But great run through the corner. You have a way better run through the corners on the bottom than on the straights, and we saw that there with Clint Stone. He is able to get by Cody Moore for 2nd. So now Clint Stone will set his sights on your leader, Brian Newty. He has a 2-second lead to chip away and only 20 laps to do so. Let's see if he can do it. Cody Moore, though, not letting Clint Stone get away. As I say that, we see he loses them heading through turns 3 and 4. Behind this battle, Kyle Mays reeling in Michael Provolt for that 6th place position. Kyle Mays, one of our playoff drivers, trying to get up above the cutoff line like I mentioned earlier. And he is able to, he's actually battling with a fellow playoff driver. This is for 6th. Here comes Kyle Mays. He is side by side with Michael Provolt. He's got the nose. He is clear. Kyle Mays now to the 6th place position. Jeffrey Belk falls to 7th. And coming up on these two is the 54 machine of Jeffrey Belk. We see Michael Provolt loses Belk, and now here comes Belk to Provolt's outside. Kyle Mays, Jeffrey Belk, both with fresher tires compared to the 95, and there we go. They're both able to get clear of the 95 machine. Jeffrey Belk trying to reel in the 6th place driver of Kyle Mays. Again, for that 6th place spot, it'll be a playoff driver battling a non-playoff driver. We've got 2 teammates battling it out, Josh Hall, David Hartney. These two probably going to run each other a little bit easier than if they were non-teammates. Jeffrey Belk trying his best to get up there to the 55 machine. They've got a little bit of an obstacle. That's Sylvain Seagoin, the lap car. Make sure to check out the IntensityBroadcasting.com store. We've got merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite drivers, and all of your favorite leagues. We've got fantastic Intensity Broadcasting merchandise. We've got Atlee Weiss Racing merchandise. If you want to support my real-life racing, then make sure to pick up one of my shirts or hats or whatnot. We've got a bunch of cool auto racing novelty t-shirts. Some of the best selling include the Cautions Breed Caution shirt. We've got the Talk Less Race More shirt. And the Pucker Moment shirt. Those are some of my favorites. We've got the Carson Hayslip Driver Collection. Go support a young and up-and-coming driver by picking up some of Carson's merch. And make sure to check out our lifestyle collections. We've got the Underwear collection and the Carefree collection. And lastly, make sure to check out the SCSRA collection. We've got SCSRA bubble-free stickers. Put them on your personal vehicle, put them on your race car, and support the league. I mean, you are watching an SCSRA broadcast. We've got SCSRA photo paper posters that you can hang up in your sim room or your man cave and represent the league. And then we've got SCSRA t-shirts that come in 5 different colors: black, navy, red, sport gray, and white, and sizes small to 5XL. Again, if you want to support the league, make sure to pick up all of their merchandise on there. We've got SCSRA merch and so much more on the Intensity Broadcasting store. Again, it's IntensityBroadcasting.com. That is the place to go to check out the merchandise for your favorite broadcaster, your favorite leagues, and all of your favorite drivers. And hey, Christmas is coming up, so items from IntensityBroadcasting.com makes the perfect Christmas gift. And stay tuned, and I would wait till the end of November, or late November, to purchase anything, because we're going to be having a Black Friday sale. I'm not exactly sure the percentage off on the items. That will be determined a little while later, but definitely I think we're going to have a Black Friday sale on Intensity Broadcasting merchandise. So stay tuned and pick some stuff up. Now's the perfect time. Christmas time, get some gifts. I've been watching the gap between Clint Stone and Brian Newty slowly decrease. It went from 3 seconds to 2 seconds to 1 second now. Clint Stone has 11 laps to try to reel in Brian Newty. He's got 1 second to try to close him in. Or he's got 1 second. That is the gap between him and Brian Newty. Jeffrey Belk trying to get by Kyle Mays for that 6th place position. Belk looking high, looking low. I know Kyle Mays definitely is going to play a lot of defense here. He wants to hang on to that 6th place position. Every position matters for him. He's in a pretty good spot right now to be looking pretty good heading into Talladega. So he's going to definitely try his hardest to hold off Jeffrey Belk, but he is right there. Belk all over the back bumper of that 55 machine. See, he loses him a little bit there through the tri-oval, though. The gap decreased a little bit between Brian Newty and Clint Stone, and they don't have any cars separating them. It's just Clint Stone. He has a clear shot right towards that 28 machine. Let's see if he can close them in these final 8 laps. We continue to watch this battle for 6th between Kyle Mays and Jeffrey Belk. Again, Kyle Mays trying his hardest to hold off Jeffrey Belk, and he's doing a great job running a defensive line to prevent Belk from getting by him. And he will remain in the 6th place position. The gap still 8/10. 8/10, excuse me. Clint Stone not really gaining too much. He's got to make some big gains here in these final 6 laps if he wants any sort of shot at winning this race. There we go. He was able to get it to 7/10, now to 6/10. There we go. He made some good gains there. Jeffrey Belk reeling Kyle Mays back in for the 6th place position. The gap between Brian Newty and Clint Stone went from 5/10 to 4/10. 5 laps to go here at Charlotte. Time is running out for Clint Stone. Can he make it to the 28 of Brian Newty? The pressure is on the 99. You know his heart is beating faster than it has all race long. He's got the gap now to 3/10. 4 laps to go here at Charlotte. Here comes Clint Stone. Clint Stone is giving it his all. He is driving it in probably as hard as he ever has all day long. He is just pushing it as hard as he can, trying to get trying to just close that gap. Great run there. He's got it now down to 2/10. Here comes Clint Stone. He now has it down to 1/10. Great run off of turn number 4. 3 laps to go. This is going to be a finish for the ages here at Charlotte. He is right there. Only a 10th separates him and Brian Newty. Trying to set up the pass. The door is open. He is all over the back bumper of the 28 machine. He is there heading into turns 3 and 4. We see he loses him a little bit there through the corner, but he has a great run off of exit. He's going to maybe try to use lap card. Eddie Morris as a pick. He goes to the outside of Brian Newty there side by side. I know Eddie Morris is going to try to block and help his teammate, so he is going to stay high, and that'll hurt Clint Stone. 2 laps to go. They are side by side. Clint Stone all over the back bumper. Brian Newty blocking for his life on the backstretch. Here they go through turns 3 and 4. One last shot for Clint Stone. Can he pick up his 6th win of the season all over his back bumper? 1 lap to go. Can Clint Stone do it? He's closed him in the last 15 or so laps. We see he looks to the outside heading into turns 1 and 2. Great run off the corner. He is able to get right up to the back bumper. He looks low under Newty. Newty blocks him. Newty sends him down the track onto the apron. He gets back up. Maybe a last shot through 3 and 4. No. The opportunity has closed. Brian Newty blocks Clint Stone, and he will win the Queen City 190 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Wow! Brian Newty with win number 2 this season, and in wild fashion. I know Clint Stone is not happy at all with how that turned out. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened there on that last lap. So we see great run through 3 and 4. Clint Stone really arced his corner. We see he looks low under Brian Newty on the backstretch. And Brian Newty just turns down right into him. I think he tried to block him, but he wasn't clear. And that pushed Clint Stone down onto the apron and gave Brian Newty a clear shot to victory lane. Brian Newty burning it down on the front stretch of Charlotte Motor Speedway. A win is a win for the 28 machine. Brian Newty not a playoff driver, so he's not really punching his ticket into the championship 4. This was just for bragging rights and to help out his team of CCM in the team standings. I gotta get my breath back after that one. That was crazy to watch Clint Stone close in on Brian Newty those last few laps. I'm excited to just hear, Clint Stone's take on what happened, Brian Newty's take on what happened, that finish, because there's always two sides to every story. Somebody's going to say one thing, somebody's going to say something else, and I'm interested to hear what both of them have to say about that last lap, kind of where they made contact on the backstretch, and in my opinion, it looked like kind of Brian Newty just thought he was clear, tried to throw a block, and just came down across the nose of Clint Stone, but the Polish victory lap for Brian Newty. I know all our Californians are on their feet. And it is now time to begin the driver interviews. Starting off, we are going to pull in your third place finisher. We are going to pull in your third place finisher from Cincinnati, Ohio. It's Cody Moore. Cody, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight here at Charlotte. I know you were running in the top 3 for a lot of tonight's event. I know you led some laps early on, and we saw you just had really fast car all throughout tonight. And we saw one, green flag pit stop. You came in and were in third. We saw Clint was able to get by you and just kind of stayed in third. Devin really couldn't catch you. Just overall, a nice, uneventful race for a change. Definitely helped you out in the point standings with the good finish, and definitely has you looking good heading into next week at Talladega.
Yeah, that was definitely the goal. Number, I guess I'm 00 tonight, but the 52 Falcon Graphics Chevrolet was faster than the driver tonight. I gave it all basically away. I got tight there with racing with Clint. I should have just let him have the stage and finish second there. And then when I came in to take tires, I didn't my tires check, so I had to wait for the tires, and I got to the back of the pack. And yeah, I was thankful I got back up to third. I was glad I tracked down Devin there, but yeah, hats off to Newty. He had speed all night, and of course Clint, the alien, he had speed too.
Now tires, I know, like you mentioned, were very, very important here at Charlotte. I mean, how were they feeling at the end there as you were trying to maybe get up there to your front two?
They felt good. Luckily I figured out 3 and 4 kind of midway through that first stage. Like I don't remember Charlotte being this way, so maybe I wasn't driving it right the previous times, but You have to be so patient. You have to let off so early and get back to the throttle so late. And yeah, luckily I kind of figured that out. But yeah, I just Nudie had got in and out of the pits better, and I just couldn't catch him.
Now, before I let you go, Cody, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, got to thank, as always, my beautiful wife Maggie, my emotional support proxy wife Cassie, my 2 kids, Grandpa Clark watching at home, all the Veritonians, my teammate Will Witt, because nobody else showed up tonight. Thanks, guys. Yeah, and you, Atlee, for doing the race. Congrats, Nudie, on the win. Yeah, hopefully this puts us in a good position for next week.
Absolutely. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Cody. And like you said, good luck next week at Talladega. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, Atlee. Take care.
Yep, you too. All right, it is now time to pull in your second place finisher from Chattanooga, Tennessee, grabbing his 10th top 5 of the season. It's Clint Stone. Clint, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Now, I know the finish didn't really turn out how you would have wanted. Late in the run there after that final stint after the green flag pit stops, I know you came in leading, but I don't know what happened on pit road, but you ended up falling to 3rd. But you were able to get by Cody, and you tracked down Nudie very, very quickly late in the race there, bit by bit, and you were able to get to him on the last few laps and looked low off of 2, and we just saw some contact get made between you and Nudie, and that kind of forced you down to the apron, cost you your run, and cost you the win. So, I mean, what was your take on those last few laps there, the very hectic last few laps?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just racing.
Now, I mean, I know you had a lot of points heading into this race as you were leading, the standings. So after, the second place finish, do you think you're looking pretty good heading into Talladega? And are you confident with your super speedway skills?
I mean, I don't know. I had to use my faster repair on the first lap. I think the last 2 are the only 2 this season. So, yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd get that right there. I mean, it's a faster car. I thought I had it the lap before, but I get it. There's lap cars, teammates. And then I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I felt like I just got turned down. I was just trying to keep it off the inside wall. But yeah.
Wow. Before I let you go, Clint, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, just appreciate you putting the broadcast on and all the Maze crew.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up, and good luck next week at Talladega. Have a great rest of your night, Clint.
Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. And now it is time to pull in your winner from Santa Rosa, California, your Season 2 SCSRA Truck Series champion. He's got the most wins in the SCSRA. That is Brian Nudie. Brian, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
Woo, I got you, buddy. Let's go.
Awesome. We'll win number 2 here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it was in wild fashion. I know after that final round of green flag pit stops, you were in the lead after everything cycled through, and eventually, though, we saw bit by bit, Clint reeled you in, and he was eventually able to get right up to your back bumper. We kind of saw a Ross Chastain, Kurt Busch moment there with Eddie Morse there at one point heading through turns 1 and 2. And on that last lap, we saw he just tried to look low under you. On the backstretch, some contact was made. That slowed down his momentum. He went onto the apron, and you just had a clear shot to the start-finish line. Really fast all throughout tonight's event. What was your take on the race, Nudie?
Definitely got a comment on that last lap. I got loose coming off of turn 2. We made a little bit of contact. I'm just thankful that Clint was enough of a gentleman, not just drive through me, and I was able to get the win, so that was pretty awesome. I just made a mistake coming off of turn 2, but it ended up kind of working out in my favor. I mean, Clint's a bad, fast dude, and I'd just be able to, even be on the same straightaway with him is definitely a big giant plus. And glad I was able to get the win. It's one of my favorite tracks. And yeah, I'm just it's a good race, good win.
Now I know with it being a night race, the track was faster. There's a lot tighter racing. So, I mean, what is for you as a driver? What is the biggest difference from night to day here with these night races? I know majority of the races here in this series are night races. I mean, what's the biggest difference, and how has it kind of benefited your driving style?
It usually actually doesn't benefit my driving style too much. I'm actually a lot better when you got to save tires and it's hotter out. The car's sliding around. I usually do a lot better. So I definitely been struggling this season. I only getting 2 wins this year, but definitely positive, still getting wins. But it's just, you don't have to save the tires as much at night, which does kind of suck. But it worked out for me tonight. So kudos. Next season, not going to be too many night races. Going to be a lot more day races. We're going to be going more that route. I think there's only 2 or 3 sunset races, and then the rest of them are just all day races. So next season's going to be pretty awesome.
Awesome. Well, fans, stay tuned for that. And before we let you go, Brian, is there any sponsors or shout-outs you'd like to thank for your win?
Oh, as always, I got to thank my beautiful wife for letting me do this. I got to thank you guys up in the booth. You guys do an awesome job. Got to thank all my teammates. The only one who showed up tonight, though, unfortunately, was Eddie. Well, not unfortunate he was here, but unfortunate that he was the only one that showed up. But we got some team points there. I think we're in a pretty tight battle with YXC Racing right now, or I'd have to double check. But luckily, there was only 2 of them there tonight, too, so that's awesome. Also got to give a shout out to all the other admins doing an awesome job. Definitely, once again, I got to keep thanking Devin, just helping grow the league. It's awesome. I got to also thank the Maze Mafia and Uncle Todd for sponsoring the Truck Series. And also got to thank Dev Sports Cards and Devin for sponsoring the Xfinity Series. Just awesome job. Everybody's kind of putting everything in together for next season. It's going along great. And if you would like to join this league, just go ahead and send Intensity a message or send SCSRA a message. We'll try to put a link below in the comments. So if you guys want to race with us, let us know, and we'll put you in a little recruitment race. And as always, finally, I got to thank Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest.
And right now, that actually reminds me, the SCSRA is recruiting for next season. I'm actually going to put a link to the Discord in the chat right now. So if you're interested in running some races, you got to run in some recruitment races to get recruited, then definitely consider joining. It's as you've seen tonight, it's a really great league. A lot of great drivers, great racing, and of course, we've got a great league owner, Mr. Brian Nudie, who wins lots of races. So. Definitely consider joining. And again, congrats on the win tonight, Brian. I know you're not a playoff driver. You're not really fighting for anything for the championship, but I know it still feels good to break into victory lane. And, good luck for the rest of the season. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep. Thank you. You too, buddy.
Thank you. That will do it for tonight's event. One more time, congratulations to Santa Rosa's Brian Nudie on getting his second win of the season. Make sure, I would do want to quickly thank league sponsor Dev Sports Cards for all of their support, and thank you to Butt Kicker for partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. I want to thank all of the league admins, Brian Nudie, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Sylvain Seagoin, Devin Butchino, and Stephen Black for all of their support of this league. Without them, this league would not run as smoothly as it does, so thank you to all of them. And I also want to give a humongous shout out to you, the viewer, for tuning in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We are trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Make sure to check out our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And make sure to visit our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, at Lewis Racing merchandise. We've got a bunch of cool auto racing novelty t-shirts, Carson Hayslip racing merchandise. We've got some lifestyle collections like the Underwear collection and the Carefree collection. And then, of course, make sure to visit the SCSRA collection and pick up some SCSRA bubble-free stickers. We've got SCSRA photo paper posters, and we have an SCSRA t-shirt. I'm Matt Liette, Unleashed, on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.